Thank you very much. Good morning. I think it's still morning. And how are we all today? I could see that the very, very enthusiastic rendition of your school anthem showed me that you were fine. You know, once in a while, when you get the opportunity, at least when I do, to enter a university community, one of the first things you want to gauge is the level of happiness of that community. And I could feel it immediately I entered here, that this is a happy community. And that means that the Pro-Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Egbewole, SAN, and his team are doing a very good job here. Now, it is not many universities that have a serving Vice-Chancellor who is a senior advocate of Nigeria. So, Ilorin and a few other universities have that very good thing. I am one of their rank, so I know what you have. But look, clearly, University of Ilorin has been in the news, especially this year, for very many good reasons. One of which is the 50th anniversary that we followed, the recognition of the fantastic alumni that you have produced as ambassadors. So at the time all of that was happening, this was not planned. So when I got the call to come and give this talk, I said, why not? After all, it's Ilorin. It's a good place to be. It would be remiss of me not to acknowledge a former Vice-Chancellor who is in our midst and who wears another cap of national service. And I speak of none other than Professor Ishak Oloyede. Well done. Very, very well done. Your country, your people acknowledge your service, your investment, especially in the education sector. It is impossible to speak about the very good reputation that the University of Ilorin has achieved without you getting a place of pride and a place of mention in the history of how that reputation was forged. And to all members of the Senate, the distinguished faculty, to the proud parents, to the proud guardians, and all graduating class of today, once again, I say good morning. Now, delivering a convocation lecture can be a very tricky and difficult undertaking for the guest lecturer. And I speak with some experience, having had the privilege to deliver not a few of these lectures. The difficulty comes from many places. One of the areas of difficulty is the disconnect between me, the lecturer, and those who have held this podium, and you, the audience, especially the graduates. So on this side, we have very freshly minted graduates who are excited by their achievement. I believe you are. We are too. And we assume that you want to go and hang out with your friends and families. Yeah? So we understand that you want to go and celebrate this milestone. And so I understand that you will not be too excited about one Fashola coming here. They bring all of you into this hall to come and listen to one man who is not your age group. Why should this happen today in any event when you want to go and video yourself in your colorful gowns? Trust me, I've been there before. So I remember on my own graduation day about 38 years ago in University of Benin. You know, I can't remember who the guest lecturer was because I was thinking about going to take a photograph. And unfortunately, at that time, there were no mobile phones. So you had a photographer contracted to many people. It was first come, first served. And you may miss your most important photograph of your life. So I understand the disconnect. So if that is how you feel about me, trust me, I won't be offended. But you see, I will do something. I don't even remember what the lecture was about. Can you imagine? So I will do something to try and ensure that you remember me, if you don't remember what I say. So what I'm going to do is to just say congratulations. I'm very happy for all of you. I am proud of your achievements, as I believe your parents are. I am also a parent, so I know how this day feels. So remember, just remember one thing that I said today, that the guest lecturer congratulated you. If you forget anything else I say, I don't blame you. I don't remember what happened 38 years ago. But let me say the other reason why I think convocation lectures can be tricky. And I say this because oftentimes on this kind of day, representatives of other universities are also invited. I've seen a few convocation lectures that speak to topics that don't concern the graduates. And I think that we should try going forward, as long as this is a part of the ritual, to make the conversations more about the people who are graduating and less about the larger society. And this is important because we grew up in two different worlds. So if I come to tell you about my world, it's going to sound like something from Stone Age. So we must talk about your world because you are the most important part of this event, not us. So, for example, the Nigeria I grew up in was a Nigeria of military rule. So if I start coming here to tell you about military rule, it will make no sense to you. The Nigeria I grew up in, we used to write checks to cash money in the bank. There was no electronic banking and money transfer as you know it today. It would not connect with you. So another reason, therefore, why I hope you remember this lecture is that it's about you. It wants to connect with you. And I hope that I succeed. So, lecturers at this occasion have difficulties. I've tried to remove one of the difficulties. I have made the topic about you, not about what your school wanted me to come and talk about. I told them I'm going to change the topic, and they agreed. Thank you, VC, for agreeing. So what I have chosen to speak about is what I called the Gen-Z Playbook. Yes. And I'm speaking about navigating work, because you will be looking for work, and navigating the real world, because you'll be stepping into a real world. And so this is all about you. I know that not all of you in the graduating set will be Gen Zs. There will be a few mature students that are graduating. We had a few like that too, who are old enough to be our daddies at that time, who graduated with us. But I'm sure that majority of you are Gen Zs. So, and if this is a democratic era as it is, the majority certainly carry the day. So what am I going to be talking about? The first thing I want to talk about is what will happen to you next. And this is what this Gen-Z Playbook is about. After today, you will be breaking up for NYSC. Not so? Hello? Where are the graduates? Where are the Gen Z? Are you here? Aha, that sounds more like you. So we are going to youth call, right? You or not me. I've done my own. And you will be interacting with the real world. And a larger part of society. And that society will transcend what you traditionally knew. Your homes, right? Your campuses and your hostels. Those are the places that have sheltered you up till now. But you will be moving away from that shelter. Before I offer my suggestions, let me say that I believe that each of you is special. What did I say? Each one of you is special. And you must never ever forget that. There's something special about each one of you. Don't forget that. You are special for many reasons. Not the least is the fact that there is a unique talent that each of you has that the other person doesn't have. And that is how your Creator has made it. Every one of us comes uniquely created with our own gifts. Your parents, all the schools you have been to, and including this university, have tried to nurture that talent up to now. But from now on, from today, that dynamic is going to change. Why? You will be under less supervision. And you will be more in control of what happens to you. And that will determine what you do with your talent. The Youth Core Year provides a very first opportunity for you to deal with businesses outside campus, to deal with institutions, and to deal with places of work that you will be posted to. What I can tell you is that you should expect that wherever you go, wherever you are posted to, largely, you will be well received. Don't forget that this country, this is how it just works. Wherever you go, there will be warmth. We like young people. You'll be well received. I urge you to make the most of this Youth Core Year as it comes forward. Use it very well. Wherever you may be posted, embrace the difference of the experience. It won't be like home. It won't be like home. So for some of you from very, very rich backgrounds, you may be leaving your 7-star environment to go to a 1-star environment. Embrace it. It is preparing you for life. For some of you who are living from very modest, humble families to some big corporations, you'll probably be moving from 1-star to 5-star. Also embrace it. The lessons there are that life is not a straight line. There will be ups and there will be downs. I can tell you about Nigeria because I have traveled this country by road twice, going to all of the 36 states, driving 12 hours every day. It's a beautiful country. A very beautiful country. And those who have done something similar will tell you. So, wherever you are posted to, embrace what you find. Our country is beautiful. A few people have contrived to give us a bad name. People are genuinely and understandably concerned now about where their children serve. In my time, it was not an issue. But I hope that in this season of renewed hope, that time will return, where every child can go to every part of this country to go and serve. But wherever you end up, please embrace the opportunity. Because what you will come across is Nigeria's diversity. You will see the difference of our culture. You will see the difference of our food. You will see the difference of languages. It was in one part of Nigeria, particularly in Ida, which used to be then in Benue State, that is now in Kogi, that I first ate pounded yam and gbegiri as an undergraduate. I refused to go to Lagos for Christmas. I just traveled with my friends, and my parents were worried, where is this young man? And I told my parents I'm spending Christmas in Benue State. I crossed the River Benue by boat and landed in Ida. I visited the Ocheche Hills. I went to one place in Igualao to go and drink pepper soup. But that was the Nigeria that I grew up with. But this is your Nigeria. But it's a very beautiful place. It is diverse, so embrace it. I urge you to work hard. Work very hard. Not like working like your life depends on it. Work hard because your life really depends on it. Respect the spaces of the people who host you. All of those who embrace you where you are serving youth corps, respect their spaces. Understand the lines you should not cross, and please don't cross them. Don't abuse the hospitality of your hosts. And if you can, interact with them and please make friends. And I will tell you why. Because some of the people I met in the youth corps here have remained my lifelong friends and have supported me at different phases of my life. The glasses I wear today was prescribed by a very, very busy ophthalmological practice in Lagos now, run by a friend that I met in youth corps 30-something years ago. I would trust him with my life, even till today. And there are many like that. So make friends if you can. So when I have eye problems, I just go to Dr. Ele that, look, what's wrong? But it was a friend that we met in youth corps. He was from another university. He was from another state. But we met in Benin, and we have remained friends till today. And there are many like that. So these are some of the things I want to tell you about youth corps here. But right after youth corps, what is going to happen? You will step into another defining phase of your lives, which is the time when you want to pursue your careers, you want to pursue your passions, and you want to pursue your professions. Not so? Shall I stop? Are you here? So, that part of your life is what I want to talk about now, because it happened to me too. I was told that about 13,000 of you are graduating this year. And if we add what other schools are producing, we are running into several hundreds of thousands, if not about 1 million. Professor Loede will know how many sat for JAMB. So, and we can predict the numbers there. This stage of your life, after youth corps, will be more difficult than school. And it will be more difficult than NYSC. You know why? The NYSC Alawi has stopped. Real life now. You are a graduate, you have certificate, you have no job. And there is no cushion from federal government anymore in monthly NYSC Alawi. It happened to me. So it's a transition. Because there will be many of you chasing jobs that will not be enough. That's the real life. That's what you should expect. But I think that during Youth Corps year and by the end of Youth Corps, you will have found clarity or something close to clarity about what you want to do with yourselves. This will help you to focus and decide where to look for work, what you want to earn, and what kind of work you are willing to accept to do. Believe me, at this stage, some of you might become very vulnerable and you can take a wrong and life-defining turn. Let me appeal to you to seek help from more mature and more experienced people, with close family members always being your first option. You know why? Close family members are the least likely to want to wish you bad. So if you need help, turn to them. Let me tell you something about that period of life. You are going to feel like big boys and big girls, young adults. Ego is going to come in. After all, you should know what you are doing now. I want to appeal to you. When you reach that crossroad of life and you don't know whether to turn right or left, please avoid the arrogance and the burden of ego that makes you feel that you are old enough to solve all your own problems. You are not. Yes, you may be mature young adults, but you are just engaging the real world with all its challenges, and without some of the guardrails. You certainly have no experience. You are therefore not too big to ask for help or to take it when it is well intended and offered, because I still take help from good people. So don't ever feel too big to accept help. It will help you if you don't mind the repetition. Around this time too, when there is no work, when you are chasing the jobs, some of your colleagues may already be flaunting a flamboyant and exotic lifestyle, and they will not disclose how the money that supports it is coming in. My advice is be careful. Indeed, if I can be honest with you, run away as far as you can from such people. Are you there? When all of you are struggling and somebody just buys a brand new car, not from his parents, he just buys a house, and there is no visible job, and he's telling you, come, don't come, run. You know why? There is no easy and fast money anywhere in the world that does not have consequences. Let me repeat that. There is no easy and fast money anywhere in the world that does not have consequences. So there's easy money, there's fast money, but it has consequences. Are you ready to pay? Hello? Aha, you have gone quiet. Hey. You know, let me say that in my own local language. Maybe it will get the message across to you. There is a story about somebody who was looking for good fortune. So he went to seek help from the Orisha and said, you this Orisha, you are not a good Orisha. Why did you bless this person that owns this big place and you have not blessed me? And said, Orisha Job, jẹ́ kí n dàbí onílé yìí. Òrìṣà said, okay, tó bá fẹ́ dàbí onílé yìí, ṣó lè ṣe bí onílé yìí. Those unexplained monies, sudden wealth, have consequences. Are you ready to pay the price they ask? Let me tell you what the consequences can be, and often is misery, regret, and sometimes irredeemable damage to the talent that is in each one of you. May you not partake of such damage. But it's not by prayer, it's by what we do, what we choose. But I will get there. In 30 years from now, some of you will stand where I stand here as university convocation lecturers. Some of you will sit on this podium as vice chancellors. Some of you will be invited as ministers, serving and former, and so on and so forth. You will repeat the kind of message I am sharing with you today to those who will be sitting in this other part of the hall. Remember, I told you earlier that there is a unique talent in all of you. Please don't forget that when you become the best version of yourselves, because I know that you will become the best versions of yourselves. Now, that's done. I will share a few examples of what you will see in the real world and my imperfect suggestions of how I think you should engage them. My suggestions will be imperfect because I don't know your world as you do. You know your world better than I do. And let me demonstrate that in a manner of speaking. So one of my children came to me one day and said, "Oh, Daddy, why is it that Mommy doesn't understand us anytime we want to do this and this?" I said, "Well, I don't know the answer. The only thing I know is that my parents too didn't understand me. And it is a cycle. So I have this saying that there are some children that when we were younger, our parents will tell you, I don't want to see you with that boy, I don't want to see you with that girl. You know, oftentimes we will tell them, "Oh, Daddy, Mommy, you know, he's my friend, and she's my friend." Say, "What do you know about friendship?" Now, I am doing the same thing with my children, and I realize that my parents were right. So one day, it will be your turn to stand here and give advice, and you will find out that Professor Egbewole has been right all along, telling you what you should do and what you should not do. So, this is why my suggestions will be imperfect. But if you mix common sense, they say it's not common, but many of you will have it as part of your talent. If you mix common sense with it, and if you add a little of what your parents and guardians have told you about right and wrong, it will see you through. So I'll give you a little of my own imperfect suggestions. You will add a little of your own common sense, and the big one that your parents and lecturers have told you about right and wrong. I think with those three tools, you should be ready. Of course, knowing the difference between right and wrong is not so difficult, is it? Yeah? Hello? Right and wrong, I think we know it. My best example is that when you do something that your instinct wants to hide, you don't want mommy to see it, you don't want your lecturer to see it, common sense is telling you that you are doing the wrong thing. Do you agree? Okay. So we know what is wrong and we know what should then be right. What is difficult will be the courage which you must find not to do that thing. Because even when we know that it is wrong, sometimes we still go and do it. What has failed us is courage. And the only person who can find that courage to fix the problem is who? You. So, one thing I will like you to come to terms with is that the real world is different from the glossy world and the perception you see on social media. Social media does not represent the real world, though. Are you there? The online world, the sun does not set there, it's bright from morning to night. That's not a real world. The real world is where there is night and where there is day. Please remember, not everything that you see online is true. Also know that with the development of artificial intelligence, there are a lot of people who are seeking to manipulate, to influence your thoughts, to influence your actions, and of course to control you every time you click a button on your handheld device. Are you aware? This part of the hall is not aware that people are trying to manipulate you. So the first day I started battling with my phone was about 12 years ago or so. I was reading a newspaper in hard copy, which many of you don't read anymore. You read online now. And I saw a photograph, a cartoon. No, it was a photograph. A couple on their wedding day, husband and wife to be, or already joined. And you know what they were doing? They were both on their phone and they were not talking to one another. And I just asked myself, what can be so important than this special day? And that was the day, if you see me, 9 times out of 10, my phone is face down. 100 times out of 100, my phone never rings out and it does not vibrate. I own the phone. The phone does not own me. Anything that is important, the person will leave a message and I will respond when I can. And when I am going to bed, the last thing I do is shut down my phone, put it in the charger and sleep. Nothing will happen, trust me, that cannot wait for morning. If there is bad news, God forbid, you will get it. Even if your phone is off. So what is that important thing that you cannot control a tool that is now controlling your lives? It might sound easy, but I just want to advise you, be careful what you do online. Manage your time there sensibly. And let me recommend to you, there's a documentary movie that I watched on Netflix. It's called The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma. I recommend it to all of you to go and watch when you have time, if you haven't seen it before. You will see what is happening by those who are behind this device. It's not a bad thing, but it can be used for many things that you did not intend it for. The movie is called The Social Dilemma. Please make sure you watch it. But let me be clear, as I said, social media can be a useful tool. It can help you reach people. It can be used for good causes. It can be used for work. And it can be used for business. And it can be used to showcase positive things that you undertake. I say to you that it is a great place to advertise the positive part of you, but not to advertise your body parts. Above all, I urge you never to use foul, abusive, or hate language on social media. Whatever you post there will forever be credited to you. You cannot take it back. So if the language or the conversation gets nasty or negative, know that you do not belong there. Leave the site or leave the group and never go back. Well, I will now address what I call financial independence, because I've said this is about you. I want to give you some useful tools to get on with your lives. I think that financial independence is a matter of sacrifice and personal discipline. Remember that your parents and guardians have all sacrificed financially for you to get here. You must now be ready to make sacrifice for those who are coming after you, but above all, for yourselves. Developing the habit of saving and investing is a good step forward towards financial discipline. Now you will ask, what is this man talking about? Save what? In this inflationary economy and all of that. You know, at the time that I found a job after youth corps, I'd stayed at home for about 6 months. Back in 1989, yes, when I finished. I stayed at home for 6 months. There was no work. I got all sorts of offers. Some of my colleagues that picked all sorts of offers. But I was very clear. I wanted to work in a law firm. I wanted to practice law. I wanted to be a litigator. And that's why I said, by the end of the youth corps year, you must be clear where you want to be, what steps you want to take. But I started out by earning 1,400 naira a month. But you might be surprised. It was a lot of money at that time. During this period, I believe that many of you, maybe for your first year, the boys and the girls, the men and the ladies, will still be living with your parents. Whatever you earn, if you make the choice to develop a habit of saving, you can save something, no matter how little. It's not how big it is. It is the discipline to give up something in order to keep something. That is the essence of this suggestion. It's not that it is going to turn you into an instant millionaire, but if you put together your cobbles, you will accrue the naira, and from there, so many good things can happen to you. But as I said, way back then, right after youth corps, another colleague who was an economist later went to train to be a stockbroker. He was my senior. And he used to come and tell me, Tunde, come and buy shares. And I started out with very, very little shares, state and life, 10 units, 5 units. But it is a good habit to get into. But you must do so on advice. 2 reasons for that. The stock market in Nigeria is one of the most vibrant and exciting places to make money, but it's also a place where you can lose money. So you must find somebody who knows the market to advise you. So there are times when you can buy quick and sell quick. So I have lost money and I've made money. So they've evened out. But in an inflationary environment, is a good asset, is a good place to store your wealth, no matter how little. But let me make this point. As you do shares, also begin to think land. You are not too small to own land. It may not be in the choicest part of town. It may be in some village, but that village can become very urban very quickly. And land is a very useful asset that stabilizes. It rarely ever depreciates. And you can sell one and buy another. So these are my own advice, pieces of advice to you about financial independence. Some of the things I think you should do. Let me tell you that unlike stocks and shares and land, which are good stores of value, your cars, your shoes, your clothes are not good stores of value. They are perishable assets. For the ladies, gold is a good place to keep money. If you buy jewelry, you can resell, you can retrade, you can do everything. So, but shoes, clothes, gele, the Louis Vuitton, perishable. If you get to buy a car that is taking you to the mechanic every day and drilling a bad hole in your pocket, the way I was emotional about the car, don't be emotional. Get rid of the car. It's not your friend. It wants to destroy you. So I had one car that I really loved. I won't tell you about it, but it gave me a tough life. I was too emotional until one of my partners said, look, listen, Tunde, you have to get rid of this car, otherwise it will kill you. And I did, and I became better for it. So don't make the mistake that I made. In the real world, you will meet people, not only machines and electronic devices, that you must interact with. Today's generation is interacting more with machines than with people. I know that there will be more machines at play, but interact with people. Learn how to have conversation with human beings, not just talking to your phones. Cultivate positive relationships and seek out good mentors. In my time, we chose mentors who did not even know us, but we knew them. So what did we used to do? Some of the great lawyers that we felt could mentor us, we used to have a course list. I think your VC will remember. So we'll say, Chief Rotimi Williams is in one court. Dr. Abraham Isogbeso is in another court. We'll rush there when we finish and just go and sit down and watch them present their cases. See how they walk, how they put their hand in their pocket. Then we'll go and copy it and try to be like them. See how they dress. That's how it was back then. But I think things are different today. There are many people who want to mentor you, who now have direct contact with you, because unlike my time when there was no mobile phone, you now have mobile phones, you have Zoom, you can hold online meetings. So choose good mentors, choose wisely. And if I may advise you, where your first mentors should come from, it is here. The faculties and the lecturers you are leaving behind. This is where some of your best mentors will be. My own lecturers mentored me for many years, even as I became a public figure. I still sought advice from them. Now, as you traverse that real world, you will now be interfacing not just within Nigeria, you'll be interfacing with a global community of 8 billion people. Did you think about that? Hello? You see how your world is getting bigger. From a few thousand people inside the University of Ilorin, you are going to youth corps, to millions of people. Then after youth corps, you are coming out into an even expanded number of hundreds of millions of Nigerians. But it hasn't stopped. You will now be connected to an entire global population of about 8 billion people. Are you ready? Hello? Are you ready to meet the world? As you are engaging with the world, let me remind you about who you are. You are Nigerian. What did I say? I am Nigerian. Will you repeat that? That is our identity. And it is an identity that I hold proudly. And it is an identity that I want you to hold proudly. And let me try and explain to you what I mean. And I will do so by contrasting 2025, right, with 1970 and 1980. Are you with me? I'm going to contrast 1970 to 1980 with 2025. So let me tell you, 1970, 1980s, that was my time when I was in this part of the hall. all we wanted to do was largely foreign. We wanted to listen to the foreign music. We wanted to dress like the foreign film stars. We watched foreign films. We listened to foreign artists. And we even wanted to eat foreign food. But a government in Nigeria said, okay, enough. We were not going to dance to any music at that time if it wasn't foreign. So we knew all the George Benson, all the Shalama, all the Lakeside, and the beat goes on and all of that. Your VC is shaking his head. It was from that era. So we did our time. But one government said, enough. You must now play minimum of 25%, I think it is, of local music and local films. But that decision taken a few years back has changed everything. Nobody, even me now, I don't listen to foreign music again. I listen to what you listen to. So I said, well, that this audience would have erupted if it was Burna Boy that was giving this lecture. Or if it was Flavor, or Thames, or Ashake. But this is your time. But remember that while you are having fun, something is moving very positively. Don't lose sight of it. And what it is that unlike that time, as we were consuming fashion, we were consuming food, we were consuming film and music, they were following it with finished goods. Electronics, vehicles, shoes, handbag, and all of that. But something is changing. And you know when it is changing, it is happening in your time. The global community has started to consume our films. Is that a lie? They have started to consume our music. They have started to consume other content. They now want to eat our smoky jollof rice. They are curious about our local language and our slang. They want to learn about pidgin because only us can speak in pidgin in the entire world. Remember, I said you were connecting to a global community now of 8 billion people. Some of those 8 billion people are now listening to Nigerian music, which is our identity. They are watching Nigerian films, which is our identity. They are dressing like us now. They are seeing our adire, they want it. I met one man with my chief of staff, Mr. Shofora. We went to Cancun last year, and he was from Oklahoma. And when he found out we were Nigerians, all he wanted was how he could order ewedu, amala, and gbegiri, because he ate it in Ogun State. I said, you are too far. That I don't know whether nutritionists can preserve it in fresh order like that. But listen, the message is simple. The world is waiting for you. What did I say? Because this shift in consumption and interest represents an opportunity to unleash your individual talents upon the entire world. Whether you are manufacturers, sportsmen, entertainers, academics, you can do so now using social media, as we said, positively, for reward and for profit, not for exposing your body parts. What I am saying now is appropriately captured in the idiom, quote, the world is now your oyster, end of quote. You make of it what you can. I urge you to find opportunities from difficulty. You will face difficulty. I don't pray that it becomes your lot, but you will come into it from time to time. Find opportunity in it. I urge you to work hard. I urge you to project yourselves, because the world has been waiting for the expression and the explosion of your dream, the Nigerian dream. You represent that now. In this hall, in your faces, with the talent I see in each of you, I have no doubt that you are the ones that the world has been waiting for. Therefore, I will conclude by charging you to step forward to be counted. After all, there is a famous motto that says, quote, "To dare is to do," end of quote. Please dare, and please do. Do so with courage, with hard work, with integrity, and of course, with character. So, whether you remember anything I have told you today or not, remember the last thing I will say. It was the first thing I said. Congratulations once again. Thank you for listening.